everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of the Big Apple Battle, a New York baseball podcast. And Ed, this is gonna be a tough one. Mets fans thought this was the year the tide would turn. Instead, we're blowing leads, missed opportunities, and dare I say deja vu from 2007. 10 games left, the wild card slipping away, and the question is on everyone's mind though, how did it all fall apart? Well, I guess we'll dive into that. But your Yankees continue to keep the
Oh,
pressure
yes.
on. It
The Blue
pains
Jays.
me. Yeah, it pains me to say this, but we're gonna break down what's going right with them and how good they've been, and what's really got them to this point. And while they're doing great, I'm worried about the Amazons just trying to claw their way into October.
Oh God, dude, we missed a great opportunity. I was really looking forward to us being so optimistic last recording and going into, a week straight of losses for you guys and us having kind of an up and down, period of time that one week. I think we maybe went 4-3 or 5-2, whatever it was. I'm not gonna gloat, but it
You
would have
can.
been just great. I will at some point, but it would have been great radio fodder for the time. Uh, Again, just coming back from that break with you guys having dropped 7 or 8 straight, but I'm almost at the point now where I feel bad because what is it now? You guys are dropping, I don't know, you're
Well,
dropping losses left and right.
we're 4-6 in our last 10. It's been absolutely abysmal, and losing to the Nationals like that. Did you see those catches, by the way, in that game?
Oh God, Jacob Young, dude. I thought it
Wait,
was
wait.
Jared Young for a second. I was like, hold a minute, that's your guy. But no, Jacob Young
Jared
did
Young would
stuff.
never be able to do that shit.
I was like, wait, this would be ridiculous. No, that dude, you get why he's got a roster spot now, playing hacky sack out there in center field, doing everything he can, circus catches, and
I mean, that you don't see that. That's got to be one of the better catches of the season. I mean, there's been a shit ton of robbed home runs this year, but that's still
no, that was incredible.
pretty
And that's when
cool.
you know you have just no chance.
I mean, and that shit would only happen to the Mets.
Murphy's Law, baby. David Murphy's Law.
Fucking dead
Daniel
law,
Murphy's
man.
Law? Damn it, wrong Murphy.
Daniel Murphy's law. I mean, it would treat the Mets
Could
better
go the
because
other way now, I
Daniel's
know.
Murphy law. I
Well, I,
mean,
I want to call you out, man. You might have jinxed him. It
why?
wasn't long ago that you mentioned the September collapse, right?
Yeah, but it was already going bad. I think they were already on the 8 game losing streak when we last recorded. No, or they were
Well,
in
they
the
were at the
midst of that.
beginnings of the 8 game. I think it was like 2 or 3. But like
Oh
you guys weren't
shit!
really in the full depths of hell yet. No, you guys had some opportunities.
Did
So
I jinx this?
I don't know. Are you the drama?
I mean, when did we record? Like 2 weeks ago? And now we're tied with the fucking Reds for the final. Oh, not tied. We're behind the Reds by half a game for the final. Well, excuse me. We're tied, but they own the tiebreaker. So yeah, essentially we're behind half a game.
You do not control your own destiny for the first time since April 5th.
But I
Pretty
will say,
incredible.
I will say this. I know I get the saying. It makes sense, but I do still think we control our own destiny if we win out.
But if you win out, that means the other team can also win out and you still
Understood.
lose.
No, I understand, but the likelihood of them winning out is slim. The likelihood of the Mets
And
winning
the
out
likelihood of you
also
winning.
slim. But but I'm
Want in one
hopeful.
hand, poop in the other. See which
And
one fills
actually,
up first.
sorry, we're gonna have to talk about the Yankees too. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy I'm about to mention, he could go both ways. Well, he's a Mets fan at heart.
Poor guy.
Probably the most pessimistic Mets fan I've met. A good friend of mine, Mikey. We're gonna try to get him on the pod as our first actual guest on the pod. He will talk Yankees
Hey.
though. He's a good middle ground kind of guy, very level-headed. Unlike me and my takes against the Yankees. That's why we started this thing. But
Alec just
um,
needed some backup for the sadness that was
and
going
you're
to be
gonna
this episode.
see.
He just needed a little bit of someone to defend him in his corner. I get it. I see what's happening here. It's okay.
And you're going to see very quickly that is not backup by any means. It's going to be 2-on-1. He's a Mets fan, but it's going to feel like he's not.
Okay,
I'm,
gotcha.
I'm telling you right now. And I think we should dial him in early if you're down to have a little different kind of conversation tonight.
Yeah, if you're feeling it, let's go. Bring him on in.
Yeah, let me
Come
text
on
him.
down.
While I'm getting him set up, anything you want to talk about to get it going on the Yankees? That would probably make sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do want to give, I don't know if I should save this for later, but it is a theory, and I think maybe get it out. Why not? We might lose listeners along the way, and why bury the lead, right?
Yeah.
So the Yankees, as we've talked about, are the best team in baseball since August 11th, which, going into that, you would not have thought this team would have been the best team in baseball at anything for a while. It seemed like we couldn't field the ball, save a win, do anything in concert with offense, defense, or otherwise. It just wasn't going well. We were probably the worst team in baseball or second worst team in baseball for a month prior to that. So Really good to see them turn it around, but I was wondering what kind of correlated with that turnaround, right? Like, was it that the new acquisitions started to show up and it all went well finally in that regard? The Bednars of the world, the Dovals,
Mm.
uh, you know, uh, Devin Williams maybe settling in, whatever it might be. I'm talking about bullpens, but Caballero joining. But no, and this comes back down to the MVP vote. So I'll be honest. I've been hearing these cries for Cal Raleigh and over Judge and 58 home runs and all wonderful and great. The Mariners, so on and so forth. But the thing about Judge is when he started to slump, right, initially, early in July, his average was at a robust 365. It dipped all the way down before his injury, right? He hit the IL at the end of July. His average had dipped from 365 to 342 pretty quickly, right? Then after that, misses a few games, and his average continues to dip back down to 330. So we're back to where he is now. 330 is where he's kind of hovered around since then. And the reason these dates and numbers are important is after he went on the DL, or sorry, when he started to slump is kind of when the Yankees were at their worst, right? Early July into mid-August. Mid-August is when he returned from the IL. He comes back August 5th, I should say, but he doesn't hit his first home run from the injured list till August 12th, his first since July 23rd. So a pretty big gap, 20 days, 3 weeks, right, between home runs for Aaron Judge. Pretty big deal. Now, August 12th, his first home run since coming off the IL. What have they done since then? They played to a 26 and, wow, what is it record? Got it somewhere over here. I
I think it's
lost it.
coincidence, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, sure you do. 26 and 12 record.
But that
Only
doesn't mean
the only people close are the Phillies and Guardians, who the Guardians on a 10-game win streak at 24 and 15 and 23 and 16. Point is, Aaron Judge is not the only answer.
of
But
course.
what he does for that lineup and confidence-wise when he is right clearly has a impact that ripples throughout more than anyone else, I think, in the league, including Cal Raleigh, who it's in that same span of time is hitting 220. Okay. Judge at that same span hit 270 and 285 over a shorter sample. But my point being, even when he's slumping, he's hitting 270 with 18 home runs over that stretch, where Cal Raleigh's got 23 home runs, but is still hitting 220. So my point being, who's really more valuable to their team's success? It's clearly Aaron
Yeah,
Judge.
but what is the benefit? You're talking like an MVP race conversation here, but shouldn't you be worried about the Blue Jays and worry about what's going on there versus I know obviously
Oh
the
yeah.
correlation between
Well,
Judge's
I just
play.
wanted to talk about that selfishly because that's what's top hot and topical right
Oh,
now.
I see.
But of course, the race as it is, yeah, I'm
Oh,
feeling.
look at this guy. Sorry, Ed.
Uh-oh, we got a new player.
Brand new. Brand new. But sorry, finish your thought. Oh, you're on video too. Let's
We're
go.
not prepared. So I guess I'll just finish it off before we welcome everybody back in with we got the Blue Jays, obviously 2-game lead with 6 to go. We have to do a hell of a lot, and they have to do very little to maintain. We have to do a hell of a lot to overcome. However, I'm feeling pretty good about the prospects. Again, we're hot. The Blue Jays are outperforming themselves. We got the White Sox and O's to finish it out at home. The O's are no pushovers, but we handled the White Sox well. Had a tough series win over the O's just what again, a series ago. 2-1 series win. So hard fought, but again, coming home, something to play for. Love that prospect. Guys are clicking offensively. Big Ben Rice grand slam
Hmm.
to finish it out in 10 innings, extra innings yesterday. Jazz 30-30 home run, steals. You got to be feeling good.
Is
And the
Jazz a
pitching is starting
40-40
around.
guy, Ed?
He's not a 40-40 guy, but he's 31 home runs and 30 steals. So did I say 40-40? 30-30.
No, you
But
did not, but he did.
he's not a 40-40. It's all right. He'll be there. He'll get there one day. Don't worry. When he's not injured for 2 weeks there. So that's all I
Oh,
got to say about that. Really was a big Aaron Judge MVP campaign there, but we'll get more into the nitty-gritty of what's making the Yankees great right now.
yeah, well, I mean, I wanted to intro
Yes,
Mikey
please.
here to the pod. Obviously I wanted to give you your time to talk about the Yankees for a little bit, but right now,
Well, thank you, thank you.
um,
Without further ado,
the Mets are in free fall, and I want to intro the most pessimistic Mets fan I've ever met, but he's a good friend of mine, Mikey Scalia, aka the King of Queens, aka
hey,
Okay.
he's a more rational Mets fan than I, Ed. So it'll be a breath of fresh air for you.
I mean, talking to any Mets fan is not really a breath of fresh air, but I will go with a little less filthy and polluted. So, Mike, welcome to the program, man. How's it going?
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're glad you could join, dude. And I try to have John on here too to have a little even support. Yankees versus Mets, 2v2, and he had to put the baby to sleep, so
Yeah.
couldn't join up.
He
It
and Josh
happens.
Naylor, man, they got
Mhm.
work to do.
Josh Naylor always rocking the baby. Um, but yeah, before you joined, Mike, we were talking a little bit about the Mets collapse and what led us here, and where if we have a shot at this thing. I know you don't agree with me at all on this, where or you think it's over. I was telling Ed, I know we don't control our own fate, but if we went out,
Mhm.
if we
Yeah.
went out,
If,
well, yeah, it's a big if, but I think
if,
if you went out, you're in. That's got to
Yeah.
be a fact, right?
It's just taking a pulse here. The vibes are down as a Met fan. I've more so of a glass half empty type of Met fan, and going into the season, everything looked too good to be true, and I here we are with only a couple games left, and we are currently out of a wild card spot, not even a playoff spot, like a wild card spot. So, am I happy right now as a Met fan? No. Am I nervous? Yes. I don't believe we have we have no momentum. This time last year, we were winning games left and right, comeback games, eighth,
Yeah,
ninth inning. I don't know if you guys know the stat at the top of your head, but like in the ninth inning, we're like 0 and 60 if we're losing.
yeah.
So there's been no comeback games. And I don't want to sound like Frank the Tank, but Frank the Tank might be right here, fellas.
But at least Mikey, you're more calm than Frank the Tank, so we'll take the composed take. Um, but yeah,
but
man, I mean,
I'm sorry to interrupt, Alec.
go in.
I want to go right into asking you both one pivotal question, right? Where did it go wrong? Like, is there a moment? Is there a thing? Is there a theme? Is there a
Mhm,
vibe? Like, I warned Alec early in the program, early in the
mhm.
season that you got Soto now. Pressure's there. You didn't have that last year. The
Yeah,
Hollywood idea, right? Major League Two style. What
yeah.
is the real issue if you could articulate it or as far as you see it?
Yeah, Mikey, you got this
Uh,
one.
me first. I would
Yeah.
go with J.S. David Stearns punting on our starting pitching.
Mm,
That's kind of bit us in the butt especially towards the end of the year. None of our guys can go past 5 innings. Now, Clay Holmes and Minai are pitching a duo as a tandem,
mm.
which no one could picture that coming and going in, right?
One David
Um,
Peterson falling off, right?
Peterson, I was at that game where it wasn't Tatis, it was Machado hit a grand slam. That was demoralizing. So we
Mm.
lost that game. And then the game before that, I was at the Jacob deGrom game.
Oh
So it
God.
was Yeah, and then that was a Friday, so
That's bittersweet.
the Friday DJ that they put on
Oh
after we just got
yeah.
put up on a six spot in the first inning, Tom couldn't get out was demoralizing. So
Oh God. So you
I
saw
know.
that in person. I needed to know what that felt like, other than demoralizing. Like, were you just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what's going
Yeah.
on here?
At that point we were just hoping DeGrom threw a gem. I mean, he did throw, a
Wait,
nice.
Mikey, sorry, not to cut you off. A real quick question, just on DeGrom, because I feel like this needs its moment. Is his fastball still just as crisp when you see him live like
Oh,
he used to
it's mint, man. He's like an old school pitcher, right? You don't
be?
get him like that. You don't get the Verlanders, Kershaws, CC Sabathias anymore that can go 7, 8 innings like that. Now it just seems like all these guys are taught velo, 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 and not really how to pitch.
Yeah.
And that's why they only go 4 or 5 innings.
Well, and
Well, yeah.
look at the age on these guys who still could go six,
Mhm.
seven, 8 innings. Like it's just insane. And yeah,
Well,
I miss watching that guy pitch.
and the
Yeah.
irony that they want to protect their investments and still have it go velo, velo, velo. Like you'd think
Mhm.
at some point you'd be like, especially a David Stearns, like, oh no, we want guys who can. Well, probably David Stearns
Mhm.
thinks this way already, right? But give me a guy who can just throw the ball and like stick around, get a rubber arm kind of thing. I think that's what he hoped Mania would be, and I don't know if
Yeah.
Mania's got it left.
I was gonna say too to answer that question from my perspective. So, Mike, the starting pitching obviously was a concern going into the deadline. Obviously, Clay Holmes couldn't go deep. We didn't know what we
Mhm.
had with Sangam and Mania obviously coming back. Um, and then Dave Peterson was kind of, in my opinion, one of the biggest catalysts to the starting rotations fall off because of how dominant he was. He was looking like an ace. He was looking like a
Mhm.
1-2 in a rotation, and he fell off, and now he's hovering around a 4 ERA. So I think that was huge. But for me, it's really the bullpen, and he addressed the bullpen. But now we're
Mhm.
just getting shitty versions of some of these guys who have like great MLB track records, like Ryan Helsley, obviously having like what 8 to 10 plus ERA as a Met, and like still coming out the Hell's Bells, which Ed we talked about it last week. He doesn't deserve the intro if you're
Mm-mm.
pitching to that stat line, but
There's
man,
also a lot of
it's
songs
bad.
with the name Hell in it, or the word Hell. Just get something different. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, maybe he has to switch it up. Maybe it's bad luck now, but
That's
because
true.
it's what are the colors? Isn't it the Cardinals colors? Like when they still flash the red, or am I mistaken?
Or if they're doing that, it's probably for the Hell theme. That would be my idea. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
Helsley.
that's
Yeah,
works either way. Okay, that's fair.
yeah.
But yeah,
Just
besides
just to
besides
have you look
that,
at it differently.
Mhm.
guys like Brooks Raley, who was looking great early on, starting to teeter. Brazoban and Stanek are kind of just borderline, you know, high leverage bullpen guys who have also
Yeah.
fallen off. Like all these guys are playing under expectation. Even like Rogers, right? Like he's solid, always been solid his whole career, but he's starting to show like he hasn't been flawless. And that mixed with inconsistent hitting with runners in scoring position, which I feel like dates back
That's the thing. Yeah.
the last decade, right? So you have Lindor or Soto having a great game, or Alonso, which honestly all three of them played pretty good down the stretch, like more than
Yeah.
good. But it's everyone else.
Yeah, we can't just seem to put it all together at once. And that's a common theme here.
It's
And
been
at
like
like
that.
at
Yeah,
what point, who do you blame? Like, and again, finger pointing's easy, right?
Chavez.
Like, is it Chavez really?
No,
Is it
it's
just
not.
simple? Okay, because I gotta know. And Mendoza feels like he's been the right guy, but is he losing control of the room? Are people just like not motivated by his message anymore? Is it a staffing issue? Is it just the guys? Are they just a little bit of adversity and they're wilting? What can you chalk it up to as far as you're seeing?
Uh, Just, I mean, I listen to a lot of sport radio. I'm stealing this from maybe not Boomer, but maybe Tiki. But I think it could be the clubhouse. Like last year, as
Mm.
dumb as this sounds, and how quirky the Mets are with Grimace and all that other
Oh
OMG
my
stuff.
I
God.
love it.
Exactly. But Iglesias, he was a good clubhouse guy. I don't think we have that. Like a couple weeks ago, someone was interviewing Soto, and Soto was like, "Yeah, Marte is our leader." I'm like,
That's
"What?
crazy.
Like, what do we talk? Like, what about Lindor? What about Soto or Nimmo or Alonso?" He's like, "No,
Right.
actually, Marte's the guy. So, Marte's the leader of the clubhouse." And it's just I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's easy just to blame Mendoza or to blaming Stearns for not getting better pitching, where the Cedric Mullins center fielder just is not really panning out either. Like,
Yeah,
but losing those key pieces, they don't seem like key pieces because like what is Iglesias hitting right now? He's probably playing terrible. It's
I think
actually
he's
good to
gonna.
see him
Yeah,
too against the Padres the other day, but
yeah.
Right.
it's not just the analytics, right? That there is still human piece of baseball that's missing, and I think a lot of that these newer guys and these newer GMs just don't see it.
And sorry, I just want to add to that is I
I just want to
feel
say I
like
agree with that. So it's nice to hear that take.
I agree with it too, Ed. So there you go. You got two
Yeah.
two Mets fans
And
agreeing.
I
But I
don't
was
want
gonna
to
say
agree with
like
you guys, but I have to.
you're just agreeing with Mikey because he's new to the pod. Me,
Yeah,
you would beat me down for that one. But either way,
trying to
Lin,
ingratiate myself, yes.
Lindor for me, this falls on his shoulders because he's the one who's been there consistently, right? Pete has been there, but it's felt like he hasn't been there, if that makes sense. Because
Oh
he's
yeah.
always kind of been in and out the door a little bit, and his future's unknown. Where Lindor, has been locked in. He's been there. He's put up great seasons. He's led this team to the playoffs, through the playoffs. So I feel like it falls on his shoulders to lead the class. Also, a guy like Nimmo, who for whatever reason does not seem like his usual self. Something fishy going on there. And Jeff McNeil, got to get off the team. Been done with Jeff McNeil since 2021. I just can't stand his presence. I mean, he is a cocky son of a bitch, and I think he really, really isn't a team player. I mean, I think he truly cares about just himself.
There's a cancerous vibe to him. I don't know what it is. There's just something about him where it feels like if he had a tough day, you go into the clubhouse and he's just going to be shitty with everyone and everybody's like, "Ooh, get away from Jeff." You know what I mean? Like there's just something
I mean, he looks dirty,
I
but
don't
I don't
know.
know.
It's not. It's not meant to be like a looks thing. It's just it's the way he operates. I can't really figure it out. And going back to, wasn't it he and Lindor that had the argument?
Yeah, that
Right? That
was
was the whole
Lindor's first
raccoon
season.
situation. Yeah. So, you get other kinds of vibes from that sometimes, but not to project or put anything on people or whatever it might be. I guess ultimately though, see it as what's the solution? What do you guys have to do this week to sort of get out of that?
You have to
I
win
don't know.
games.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
you
obvious,
gotta win
right?
all these games. You have to get out the hot start and have good starting pitching. And these young kids have to show up or the season's over.
Is there somebody in the offense that you can sort of say these guys got to have big weeks? I know you're playing some tight games, right, all around. You haven't had many blowout opportunities. I guess
We have the
Soto's
Cubs
having a
too.
great finish here, so um, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess who are you looking
Personally, I
for
think
to be
it's
your hero?
over. Yeah, I think
I
it's
know you're
over.
done. You're done. But if you had to pinpoint something to change your mind,
Yeah, what's going to
hypothetically,
save you if there's
It's
if
got to
there's
be
going to
your
be
own pitching,
something?
right? It's got to be Sprout. It's got to be Tong. And it's got to be was it McLean? It's got to
yeah,
be. We're gonna go as far as they go.
That's
yeah.
crazy to rely on three rookie
It's
pitchers.
terrifying.
But
It's
guess what? We
100%
did that in
terrifying.
2015. We did it in 2015. We do it again. That was a whole different
Yeah.
vibe, I know, but
You know, it's so weird. If you guys had, and this is strange to say, just bring it back to a Yankee, former Yankee, and this is where my brain goes because I'm nostalgic for those guys. I think if Severino were with you guys, he'd have a much better year. And I think he would be a bit of that bulldog mentality pitcher for you that gave you the innings you needed. You know what I mean? Like he's been terrible
Yeah.
with Oakland, but
yeah.
Sacramento, but in Sacramento, he's been god awful. Everywhere else, he's actually been solid. So that, theoretically in my mind is like, is he that bulldog you lost and just he's the one you really couldn't replace right now? And not saying he's irreplaceable. You just didn't. Like, who's the guy that you could replace him with? You wanted
Well,
Corbin Burns, missed out on him. Like, who do you get to
I
be
was gonna
that
say,
guy
like,
moving forward?
it's not even who we could have replaced him with. It's who we did replace him with, and that's Montas, who really hasn't pitched, and when he did, he's subpar. And then Iglesias, like you're talking about, Mikey, not only for the clubhouse, but we didn't really replace Iglesias with another
Mhm.
strong middle infielder. We just
Character
relied on,
guy.
yeah, we relied on our young talent. And yeah, Brett Beatty's had a better season. Vientos has been
Mhm.
better as of late than Mauricio and Acuna, take it or leave it, kind of taking up space in my opinion. Like I'd rather have Iglesias in place of those two on our roster, and it'll be a whole different ball game. And I don't know. Instead, you got Mullins, you got Siri, you're missing Jesse Winker dearly. Like I think there's definitely that's kind of crazy to say. If you're missing Jesse Winker dearly, like that's how bad we've been in terms of role player guys. Like you have your 1 through 4, 1 through 5. Nimmo's had a good year. I don't
Mhm.
know. Not when it matters, I guess.
Well, that's yeah, you're sounding very optimistic yourself here, Alec. You were giving me the
Optimistic?
vibe that yeah, I was saying I'm joking, meaning
Oh,
I was getting the vibe that you were going to be the one that who had some hope, but it was going to
trying to
be
be just
Mike
be
who had the issue.
I'm trying to be like cautiously optimistic. That's all what I'll tag it with.
Caution to the wind, baby. Throw it
Mhm.
out there. You got to tell me what's going to happen in these next 6 games. Who you got coming up, and how is it going to end up?
Well,
What's your prediction here? I know, Mike, you got a belief that it's not going to work out in your favor,
real quick
but
before we go into that, Ed,
yeah, tell me.
I will say, you watch baseball for such a lengthy period of time, right? 162 games. So how can you not be cautiously optimistic when there's 6 games left and you already watch a fucking 140 plus baseball games? You gotta watch and hope, right? Until you're mathematically
Absolutely. That's
eliminated. So,
what I'm saying.
and that's why I love you, Mikey, because I know how like deep down you think it's over. You're saying it's over, but I mean,
Well, that's the true
sorry,
fan
you're
in it,
saying it's
to be
over, but
fair.
deep down I know you're gonna watch every fucking inning.
And then that's the nice part about baseball, right? Because we can get hot. If we get hot, we have a $800 million lineup.
There it
You know,
is.
There you go.
no one's going to want to play against us. Actually, a lot of teams are going to want to play against us, but you never know. That's like a pitcher can take control of a game and shut out a team, and that's we stole a game away. Like you never know what's going to happen. We just got to make it to the wild card.
That's it. Once
If
you're
you
in it, you never know.
and if you get there, it would be LA, right? Right now, that would be how it lined
Oh
up.
I
God.
would love that. I want the Dodgers so bad.
Don't let them get hot, man. I'm saying the Dodgers are also vulnerable as shit right now. Like Otani is doing some other crazy shit again, but like they do not look like the Dodgers that you're used to seeing.
No. And Ed, sorry, just to take it back a little bit
Oh
to your
yeah,
question,
please.
because you mentioned to give our kind of what we think is going to happen in the next 6 games. So what worries me the most, not just the going on the road in Chicago, which should worry me, obviously. They're one of the best teams in baseball. It's seeing the Marlins for the last three. Because
Yeah,
you know what they
they're
do to
brutal.
you know
Have
what they
you?
did in '07. You know
Yeah.
what they've done
Yep.
in other seasons where they always just finish us off
The
to wrap up the
last team you
year.
want to see.
Because they're scrappy, man. They always just fight the Mets hard. But I will say, before you even get there, obviously, I think I have to take at least 2 out of 3 against Chicago to be realistic. If Peterson's starting in game one, you got to take that game, and then tying game two. Hopefully, he could build off his last start because he actually had a great outing in his last start.
Right.
And then from there, you never know. You go 2-1 in Chicago and say the Reds maybe lose a series in Pittsburgh, which feels unlikely, but they're also kind of scrappy. The Pirates to me are like the Marlins of the NL Central.
What if the Cubs are, well, yeah, quite literally. Except they don't have two championships in the last what, 28 years.
Fair enough.
So the Marlins have it, I guess. No, whatever. Point is, the Reds, right? I have a feeling that the Cubs might be trying to ruin your season. Maybe they don't want to see you guys. Maybe they are afraid of you and they're like, we can handle the Reds, all right? We're just letting them win. Like they're sabotaging you guys. They lost three in a row to those guys, and now they will just come in and whoop your asses.
Well, that's what sucks too. Coming off a fucking sweep of another team, you know they're going to be fighting hard at home,
I
and
mean,
that just sucks for us. And
yeah, they're
Mikey,
tough there, man.
Mikey, what do you think? If you had to give a realistic record in these next 6 games, no matter what, if we get in or not,
If
Let's lean optimistically realistic.
okay, cautiously optimistic.
like here's the thing, we lose this series, right? We're just gonna what's the point of playing, right? They're gonna be so dejected. So everything's gonna be big on this Peterson and who's pitching after Peterson? Is it Tom?
Tong, and then I don't think we've announced a starter for game three,
It's
interestingly
probably gonna be the
enough.
tandem. It's probably
Hmm.
gonna be Clay Holmes and Minaya.
But what
Is he,
about wouldn't one of the rookies go after Tong? Actually, no. They'd probably go in the
Maybe
Marlins
the clean.
series.
I don't know.
and do you even
Yeah.
worry about a postseason rotation at that point? Because
You
that's probably
can't.
why
You
they
can't
can.
even think
Yeah.
about
No, you
that.
have
No.
to empty the tank to get in, unfortunately.
Hmm.
That ship has sailed a long time ago. So
But I will
you have
say
to do
this.
whatever it takes to get in.
It's I'm saying this, I think, delusionally
Well, you say a
because
lot of things like that, so.
fair enough. But but no, it's just I have I don't know. I don't want to say I'd rather be in this position than be up 5 games in the wild card and just be waiting for the playoffs. I can't put it that way, but a part of me loves the underdog. You guys know me.
Yes.
The 6 games to decide your season after you watch so much baseball for this long, kind of fires me up because like I know you don't decide your fate, but there's definitely a shot. You could go 4-2 and get in. Maybe not 3-3, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Let's go 4-2. Let's punch that ticket in for 4-2 and pray.
Yeah. I think
I think we could do it.
4-2 gets you in. And we do. Have you even looked at the Red schedule?
Pirates
Oh, you
and
said this.
I think Brewers, but the Brewers clinched already, right?
Yeah, they did clinch, but they could be chaos agents. They're not going to want to let up or like get rid of their game plan kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. A lot of teams don't do that anymore.
They're one of
I
those
don't know. I don't know
momentum
if they're on the
teams.
road in Milwaukee or they're at home. That I'm unsure
That's
of, but let's see.
interesting. That's just a scrappy division all around, man. I would be afraid of anyone in the NL Central. Like I would be more worried about them than I would almost any other division. Not to like shit on the Phillies or,
Oh,
anybody you're playing or competition wise, but the Central is just like I don't know, they just like it's like a heavyweight boxing fight or not even a heavyweight, like one of those middleweight or welterweights where they just keep their own punches like nonstop, just like little jabs and like can't they did a fight like this the other night. I don't know if you guys watched the Canelo Crawford fight.
yeah.
But the two fights before them, there was a match, or there was again a fight, and I'm forgetting the Canadian fighter and someone else. But again, they're just fucking they nonstop. They just kept throwing punches like for 12 rounds, and it wound up being a draw. I'd be so pissed. But anyway, that's we're getting off topic. The NL Central feels like that. I'd be afraid of those guys. I feel like the Padres are gettable. The Cubs obviously are NL Central. The Dodgers feel gettable, and the Phillies are always fluky, man. I don't
In
know
the
about you
playoffs,
guys, but
especially
yeah,
as of late.
totally. That formula just doesn't play in the playoffs. You know what I mean? It works over 162, but they're
Well,
they're a little too all over the map.
first, Ed, we have to even get there to worry about those teams because right now I think it's just the focus is on the Reds, right? I know the other guys are what? the Diamondbacks are a game and a half. Can't even think about that because I think that tiebreaker. I don't know what that comes down to. I think we split the season series, and there's some weird math that goes into the second tier tiebreaker. Which Ed, I feel like you probably know this kind of shit,
I mean, I
or did I
probably
stump
should.
you?
To be fair, I was sort of tuning out for a minute to think of my next thought. So you're saying,
Totally fine. No, I'm saying that if for whatever reason the Diamondbacks ended up leaping the Reds, we were in a playoff spot. We would. I don't know if we'd own the tiebreaker versus Diamondbacks because we split the season series, and supposedly
oh,
there's another tier of tiebreaker that has to come down to
run
not just
differential?
I. That's what I thought, but I don't think it is. I think it's some
Really?
weird shit this year. Yeah,
Oh, interesting. No, I do not know. I liked 163 better, honestly. I want to go back to game 163. I think that's
that would
where
have been
we've gone wrong
awesome.
as a nation, right? I
That's the
don't know
only
if you'd
thing.
be,
Yeah,
would
that's
you
the
be
only
down
thing
for
that's
it,
gone wrong.
truly? You'd be down if it meant you went home over some technicality. You wouldn't be down if you could move on some technicality.
I mean, I'd be interested. It would remind me of the one game wild card, which was kind of pretty cool. It was epic. I mean, it was one game. It was stressful. Obviously, 2016 was awful, but like,
I kind of dig.
it,
No, I think I dig it, honestly. Looking back, I missed the one game wild card.
yeah. I mean, I say that now, but obviously last season.
Yeah, I get you. That's
Wait,
fair.
no. Did we win
No,
or lose game one?
I think
I
you lost
completely
game one,
we lost game one
right?
in Milwaukee against the Brewers, Mikey. We lost game one last year, right?
Oh, I don't know, man. I was,
We're all getting stumped today.
yeah, I have no
That's
idea.
okay. Um,
It's late in the pain of this season is clouding the mind.
yeah, I'm trying to find out what the second tier tiebreaker is.
Well, we're an informed show. Come here for your baseball
But Ed,
information.
I know we talked a lot about
Everybody
the
else will
Mets.
Google it.
Mikey is a pretty rational Yankee. You're not a fan, but like me,
Hater,
I hate the Yankees.
Mhm.
Yankee knower,
I don't think you're a despiser of the Yankees
observer.
as much as I am.
Yeah, I mean, I had a long-standing bet with one of my buddies, who would have the better record, and I was giving him, I was giving
Mm.
the Yankees a game and a half, so that bit me in the butt. So I had to take him out to dinner. So I mean, I've been following the Yanks for a while. I mean, I should probably go to more Yankee games than I do go to Queens, just because
Whoa.
it's a pain in the ass to go to Queens.
Yeah, it
Why are you
is
just going to Yankee
always
games?
because they're better.
I still
Uh,
am a baseball fan.
That's fair, but just going to well, I can't say I haven't been to a Yankee Angels game, right, Ed?
Yeah, I was gonna say you've seen some Otani before Otani. Yeah, dude, you've been to a few Yankee games, but we still got to get Alec out to Yankee Stadium in a full Mets outfit or a full Yankee outfit. Sorry, Yankee
Who?
outfit at City Field. What are we doing?
No. Wait, why?
We
Why
got
would
to
I
get
wear
you in
you?
a full uniform
I
at
think it
the
was
other
no, it was
ballpark
Mets gear at
at Yankee
Yankee
Stadium.
Stadium. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
but you got to wear a full uniform, not jersey. Like you got to look like one of those either grandparents who goes in a full uniform,
The
or you got to
baggy
look like one of
pants,
those.
like the
Yeah,
old pants.
exactly, exactly. Like
That's fucking not
big
happening.
dumper pants, not Keith pants. You know what I'm saying?
Not the fitted 2025 baseball pants.
You could go racing stripes, Keith, Gary, Ron, old school style pants. Mookie. I don't know why I said Gary, Ron. They weren't there. Gary was. No, not Gary. Ron was. All right, back to the story. So yeah, what are we talking about the Yankees? What's our issue now, other than going to Yankee games? Just talking
No,
about
there's
how
no
good
issue.
we are?
You guys. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't
what?
Hey,
know.
you guys are chilling. Like you guys
Yeah,
have
you're
Let's
in.
no
I
keep
mean,
it
you're
stress
right
going
down.
on.
fine.
I got to be honest though. I don't love the prospect of lining up with the Red Sox. I really hate that.
I
You
love
know,
that.
wild card series. Last time that happened, I bought tickets to the last game of the division series, Yankees Red Sox 2018,
Mhm.
thinking game five, we're going to win it at home. Snuck down right behind home plate just to watch Gleyber Torres ground out to Craig Kimbrell
Mm.
right behind home plate and watch the Red Sox celebrate on my field. So I'm not loving that prospect. Um, However, I feel like every other opponent, there's not a lot to be that stressed about right now. But I don't know. Like, who do you, Mike, think is the biggest threat to the Yankees' playoff success right now in the American League?
I mean, the American League's kind of a joke, though, right?
Cakewalk. It's a goddamn cakewalk.
No, bullshit, dude. Just because we don't have the Rockies in our league doesn't mean we're a cakewalk. We have parity. That's what this is called. It's called parity. There
Oh,
are
okay.
decent teams throughout our division, our league, that we don't have to, say, oh, here are the haves and the have-nots. We don't have a 96 win team because everybody beats each other.
Mhm.
So
The AL Central is a joke.
I don't know how to make that funnier than it was, but I was trying to find a way to cap that with something. So the AL Central sucks, but it also kind of doesn't. Like the Guardians are about to take over or overtake the fucking Tigers.
Yeah, they
Like
both
what's going
suck.
on? Do they? Or
No,
is it just like they all play a similar brand and it's like, oh shit, now they're figuring us out. We don't have to hit home runs to win games. It's crazy. You know what I mean?
I feel like it is a
Like
very similar brand of baseball. Like they all play the same brand of
totally.
baseball. Even the Royals.
As I was saying with like the NL Central, I think it's the Central teams. They're like, we're not sexy, we are not huge markets, so how do we win baseball games? Oh, the Rays are doing that. Oh, the A's were doing that too. Let's just take that up now. So anyway, the pendulum has shifted. You
Mhm.
gotta you gotta imagine there's somebody like again, even from the Mets perspective, you're watching the American League. You're not thinking, all right, the Mariners look tough right now. You're not thinking, I don't know, Red Sox are scrappy, Astros. You're right, it is a shit
I
show, man.
I'll
Everybody
say the
looks like they don't know
Mariners
what they're
actually.
doing.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not to cut you off. Just really quick to add. I will say the Mariners are a threat, in my opinion, in the AL in the playoffs because starting pitching in general wins games in the playoffs, defense and pitching, and they have some good young starting pitching in Gilbert and Wu, and I'm forgetting everyone else's name, but they have a bunch of depth there. And
Kirby.
Kirby, yes, of course. Um,
Gilbert,
and
Wu, and Kirby. That sounds like a weird law firm or a comic strip.
it does. But who else am I missing? Who's there? Oh, Castillo.
Yeah, dude. Castillo's buried in that,
And that's what
which
I'm
is
saying,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, they're
So they're
insane.
dangerous.
One of the
Sorry.
best closers in baseball, and Andres Munoz, and they finally have some offensive firepower. So, yeah, pretty big.
Yeah, and I think your biggest, not concern. I mean, you guys hit around over there, but like Judge hasn't really been showing up in the playoffs, right?
Oh God, you and your
So like, yeah, I think
narratives.
it's internal. I think that's going to be your biggest challenge in the American League until, knock on wood, you
Ooh.
guys do get there. I mean, I would love to see you guys get there, then choke as a true Met fan.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
All right, we've seen
Um,
enough of that for one calendar year.
but yeah, I
Um,
personally think, as long as you guys hit well, as long as Judge, gets hot at the right time, I think you guys are in a good spot. But you personally, do you think it's more of, a pitching aspect to get you there, or is it going to be hitting, or is it going to be a little bit of both? Because typically what we see, pitching gets elevated, right? And the bats typically get a little bit colder, especially this
yep.
time of the year.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's my fear is that they disappear, right? The shrinkage happens when the cold weather hits. So I just I want to see them overcome that, right? And just sort of like part of me just wishes they had a little bit more of that we've won the World Series character on that team. You know what I mean? I think that's what it gets in the way is like it's between the ears, like you said. They get in their own way. I thought that was a really good assessment, especially from, the outside looking in, because the Yankees are always in their own fucking way, dude. It's just like who's that thing that gets you through? And that's where Jeter, I think, like I'm not the guy who's always like, yeah, Jeter, rah. But like Jeter did have that mentality that kind of like allowed guys to get through that. But Jeter learned that from someone else, right? And he had veteran talent on his teams prior to that had won elsewhere. And if they hadn't won elsewhere, they were hungry to win because they came from elsewhere to do this, and this is what their sole mission was. So I sometimes worry that they get a little lax on that side of things and, whatever, old school rah rah. But I think that there is a mentality thing, and we can do this. We've been here before. And I told this to Alec, early in the season. I was like, if we're going to get back to the World Series, you know, they got to win it because they've been there now. They're angry. They're hungry. Like, there's no more nonsense, no more bullshit. Cody Bellinger's been there now, right? So you got a guy like
Mhm.
that who's proven really unflappable this season.
Mhm.
Incredibly clutch, hits lefty batters or pitching than better than almost anybody else.
And
And you have some more caliber guys like that, but again, the Devin Williams saga from last year worries me, right? It's
Yeah.
from this year's worried me. The ghosts of those pasts give me a little bit of stress, but I've liked what I've seen from Bednar, and I think there might be a little bit more of the ability to clamp down and just say, yeah, this is our shit, man. We're taking it now.
and I was gonna say
Yeah.
too. Sorry, Mikey. Just real quick. I was gonna say. A lot of times on the pod, I think we've talked about your offense and the firepower and the home runs and all that good stuff, but we don't really lean on or focus in on your starting pitching. And I feel like it's overlooked, at least here on the pod, where like Max Fried and Rendon, man,
My
have
God.
carried that rotation And obviously, there's role players and role pieces that have done well for you guys, and some rookies and some young talent there. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, those two anchoring your 1-2 in your rotation, and you're going to win every 2 out of 5 games that are not guaranteed, but there's been a bunch of them this year. And, I think we've overlooked that. And before I pass over to you, Mikey, the one thing I was going to say before, Ed, how good, even and as much as you will hate this as a baseball fan deep down, how much would you love a Yankees Red Sox series? Come on, it's good for baseball.
Dude, I know it's good. I do, but I don't
Think
want it
back,
for
fever
three. I don't
pitch,
want it for
baby. Come
three.
on.
I don't want it for three. Get out of here with that shit. I hate that goddamn movie.
I
You know what
love
it
it.
is? I actually kind of like it. But we're not going to talk about that anymore. We don't talk about Bruno. What is that damn thing? So I don't want to see it for 3 games. That's all. I want to see it for a championship series. That's where it belongs. Yankees Red Sox otherwise just feels a little deflated, right? Like Mets Dodgers for three, that feels okay. Yankees Mariners for three feels okay. There's a little bit of an old history, like a tiny bit of rivalry between the two teams, and like again, shared connections and histories. But beyond that, you don't want to see even Padres Dodgers last year, right? That was a 5 game series. Nobody wanted that. Like no one of those two teams' fan bases wanted that, let's say, right? You guys were happy to have it because it meant you guys got to play the Dodgers. But in reality, if you get the Phillies, you want that for 7, man. You got the Braves, you want that for
Yeah.
7. If you got that for 3 or 5, it's just like, ugh. So
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of this layout for that reason. But Mike, yeah, tell me
Yeah.
what you're feeling about that.
No, I mean, I'm completely with you. If it's going to be a longer series, I would, you know, I would want the longer series against the better team, so it's not just like a little bit random. That can happen in the shorter series.
Absolutely.
But my questions, I guess, for you is just like your infield. Like, I'm not sure if you guys
Mm.
talked about this already, but you guys are not going to play Volpe, right? It's going to be Caballero at short.
I sure hope so. I'm loving him and his energy, and I'm liking the way Volpe kind of comes in off the bench and maybe spells him for a game or two, in a longer series, maybe a matchup situation, because he seems energized and sort of like, all right, now I'm going to prove it to you. He's been a little better of late, but again, I'm just liking Caballero's general vibe and what he brings to the team overall a lot better. So I think, yeah, it can't happen that way. Otherwise, I guess it's pretty set, right? You got
Mhm.
Jazz, you got McMahon at third, which McMahon defensively is beautiful, but really want to see some more offensive firepower. They were testing out the Martian at third base. I don't know if anybody saw that, but
That's
I-
that's
I'm
crazy.
I'm hoping that's just like dicking around. It would not make sense for the playoffs. But yeah, it's a good question, Mike. I can't see them going. But then again, for the playoffs, it's like he's still your starter. Do you say you have no faith in him if you don't
Mhm.
give him the starting spot? That's where I don't want to be Boone, and I guess I got to give him a little more credit. But
I think you have to start him. You have to go with your gut.
oh, you think you have to start Volpe?
I do. I think you
Wow,
have to ride with him and give him a shot because he has proven it on a
in
big
a 3 game
stage
series,
in the playoffs, hasn't he?
Then here's the thing: you got to play him now. You got to play Volpe now. You got to
right?
get
He's
him
got to
those
play
at
this
bats
week.
now.
Well,
Yep.
that's fair too. Yeah. So yeah, you got to pick one side here. That's
So
true.
tomorrow is going to indicate a lot, right? This week is where you just kind of get your idea of what the playoff scenarios are going to look like, who's going to be trusted for what, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of forgot about that issue, and I don't want to say that our successes recently have been to the, fact that Volpe's been out of the lineup, but I
Mhm.
think that he does feel a little rejuvenated, and maybe the weight isn't as much on his shoulders because once his defense started to go, man, you knew it was just between the ears.
I mean, I'm not sure if you guys caught this, but Booney said he was hurt for a while.
Well, his shoulder, right? They're
Yeah.
saying rotator cuff, and I'm like, how are you even playing now
I
then?
think that's bullshit. I mean, I
So
think
do
that's
I.
cover up, because
Yeah.
he was, throwing, had some mental errors and throwing errors, but
And you get banged up, and that's probably true to some extent, but like he's just PR guy in that moment, right?
yeah, he's a player's coach. He's going to protect his guys no matter what, which is good to an extent. And then
Mm-hmm.
we don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
But I just
You
so want to.
just to 'cause I just because I know you and Mikey's literally opening the door to a wormhole,
Yep.
and you're about to dive right in. So
Yep. Yep.
I just had
I'm
to
biting
mention one.
my hand right now. Oh,
We
don't
could we could
worry.
always swing it back.
Hook
I
on.
promise.
Hook on.
But
Hook on. Hook on.
but had to swing it back to the Mets quick because I completely forgot to mention Jose Siri and the clubhouse.
Hmm.
And no one has pointed a finger at that. He is just as bad, if not worse, than like a Yoenis Cespedes in the clubhouse.
Hmm.
And now he's back. The fans are booing him. I think he's only had like I know he's out like all season, but he still might have only has had one hit, right? Like he started the season with one hit and then he's hitting like .05 or some shit. So
Oh, I want to
yeah.
pull up the audio from like episode 2 and
Oh,
just
I
like,
loved
oh
him,
man,
man.
this Siri guy is gonna be great. And I was like, man, he could be this, but I hope not. You never know.
Well,
Could work out or it could not.
he also didn't play, and then you're replacing him with Cedric Mullins, who is completely washed up as we are seeing too. So
That's
I just had
sad.
to mention that about Siri and the fans booing him, and just that reminded me of the bad for morale. It's just bad in the clubhouse.
But is he
So
still legs that you need on that bench? You know what I mean? Or can
you
you
could always
afford to
find
drop him from your
legs.
playoff roster?
You could always find legs. You could go to the minor leagues and find 5 legs, no problem.
Five, one man, 5 legs. You got to go find Terrence Gore or like a Quentin Berry or something like
Ooh,
that.
Terrence Gore would be the dude. He's MVP of playoff legs.
No, my God. The playoff leg award goes to the Terrence Gore Award. That's what it should be called.
100%, 100%. So Juan
They
Soto,
call they call me playoff legs, but I won't tell you where.
okay. Ed, we haven't talked about Soto enough on the pod.
That's
We got to
fine.
look at some sort of
That's okay.
positive or bright spot here, I think. And I
It,
mean,
incredible, man. He did what I'll call myself at. I said he's never hitting 41 home runs again, and he's
he's
at 42, right?
yeah, most of his career, and I think he's the third Met in history to have 40 plus home runs, 100 plus RBIs, and 30 plus stolen bases, if I'm not mistaken, which is insane
That's
considering
insane.
how he started the season.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're gonna have a bright spot and a silver lining, that's it. And here's the issue. You don't want to blame him for why nothing else is working out, but would you trade that season for, missing the playoffs is the question.
Um, that's a great question. I don't think I would. I mean, yeah, I would trade the season for missing the playoffs. If he had 240 and had 20 home runs and 75 RBIs and we won the division, or do we win the division, or would it just be third wild card? What's your metrics here?
I'm saying if a tree falls and no one's around to hear it, does it really make a sound?
Yes, it does. So
In
yeah.
the annals of history, will this be a memorable season for Soto if you guys don't make the playoffs? So I just want to stay on theme.
Oh, well, I
And this is a question for
personally,
both of you guys.
it'll be a achievement remembered when you think about Juan Soto as a player, but not as a Met, if that makes sense.
Yes. And again, this is the first of 15 years in that contract deal. So
So that's why it would
will
matter.
matter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Historically. But
So
as far as you guys matter or care, where does it really rank? And is it even like on your radar how great a season he's having, or does it even matter at this juncture?
I'm just glad he's not playing. He was slumping a little bit earlier on, but I'm just glad he's playing to his contract for now. I mean, it's only year one. It's a good sign. It's way better of a sign than when he was batting, 210.
Oh, yeah.
mm,
I wish he had more RBIs. I mean, the Juan solos for half the
Hmm.
year were brutal. I think, you know, 30 of his home runs are probably solo shots, which
Yep.
hurts, but he's had a good year though. I mean, no complaints there.
And the question is now, right? Where do you guys go? And getting too ahead of ourselves, but Pete had such a great start to the season. He's had a pretty good year all around, right?
good year.
A really good year, I think.
Yeah.
And what I guess I'm saying is Pete, that 1 foot out the door mentality, right? How do you fill in for Pete? And like again, where Juan Soto was Juan Solos, it felt like Pete picked up those extra ribs, right? So is there a guy who can kind of fill in that role if Pete were to go? Because now you got to worry that they're not going to fork over the money for him over the long term unless he's like really committed to what goes on here. But
You're saying, Ed, if there's a
is
player
there
within the current roster or just someone
or
who could
anybody?
go,
I don't even know if you
uh,
can find somebody that replaces that
dude,
production in that position, you
he's
know?
hitting 274 with an OPS over 870 with 122 RBIs. It'll probably end the season with 130 if we make the
That's what I'm saying.
playoffs. He's ending the
Yeah.
season 130.
Yeah, we'd get him on a 2 year, I think, for now. I mean,
Yeah.
Pete wants to be here, but like even still, like let's say, God forbid, he walks or whatever, we don't sign him. I mean, we got we got money. Like we have the one of the richest owners. Like they'll find a way to get someone. You
Yeah,
But
know?
we've seen,
we'll buy somebody, but like
yeah, is that
Pete,
always the answer anymore, you
no.
know?
Pete
Right.
should
No, but I like playing it. As a Met fan, we couldn't play this. As you
no.
guys as Yankee fans were, rolling in the dough, bringing in every free agent. No, like
Um,
no homegrown talent for a while.
Well, I would argue that that's why I didn't love that approach, right?
Mhm.
Even for you guys, like it's nice to have the option. You're right. It's like, yeah, on a rainy day, I can go buy it.
yeah, but not if you're replacing your star first baseman, who's won the hearts of Mets fans. Like Mikey, I like playing that game when it's a position that we need, and like I'm not worried about losing a
Yes.
player there. Like center field, let's go play that game.
That's a
Yeah.
great, right, perfect place to play that game. But
Yeah.
here is like, oh man, who do you go with? We saw it last offseason. It's a tough one. That market's weird. Paul Goldschmidt was really good to start the year, falling off quite a bit. Obviously older. Christian Walker, not the guy that they signed or hoped to sign, right? The
Yep.
first base market is a little more barren than you'd hope, and that's again, two teams fighting for a guy like that in New York. I wouldn't be shocked if the Yankees now were more interested than they were last year.
And there's no.
Yeah. What would
Oh,
probably
sorry,
happen?
Mikey.
They would probably move Vientos over,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then we'd get a
Yep.
third baseman or someone like that.
Well, because you're gonna have to trade somebody if you're even looking for a pretty formidable first baseman. I mean, the free agent first baseman class is pretty awful, and they're all like 30, 35 plus. I mean, the only name on that list that pops out to me is, again, obviously Alonso and maybe a Josh Naylor or um, Christian Walker, I think, is only on a 1 year deal too, right? So, like, those
No,
guys
I think he's a
aren't
three-year
doing
deal.
it.
Three-year deal. But like they're yeah,
Okay.
small commitments, but there's just not that crop of first baseman hasn't come out for a while. You know what I mean? Or we're in that lull of most people are tied up. You don't really have a lot of young talent that's like been talked about or prospect wise that I'm hearing much about right now. So it's just an interesting spot to be in, especially where Pete has been, in my opinion, your MVP for a lot of the season.
And arguably one of the best first basemen in baseball. I mean,
Right.
top two, if I'm not top two or three, right? Like, who else is
Well,
trumping him?
give or take, for his defensive woes, but let's
He's been much
save that for
better
another
on the
day.
defensive end. No?
No, I'm really just thinking of probably one
Just
bad
throwing the
day.
ball. He
He
can
can't.
pick.
He can't
He
throw
can
shit.
pick. He just
He's
can't
a head
throw.
case. No, it's a head case. It's like me pitching. You get in your own head and you can't throw a strike. Yep.
Oh,
Sounds about right.
polar bear knows how to fish. So it's yeah, I don't know why that's what's coming to my mind right now, but I guess yeah, I don't know what else to ask you about because it sounds like you guys have a pretty, level head about it going into, the off season, postseason, whatever it might be. I'm hoping the off season, just as a
No,
hater, but for the pod, I want to see you in the postseason. It'll be a much better fodder.
for the pod, don't get it twisted, Ed. That we need postseason Mets baseball.
Oh, we need it.
I cannot have Mets postseason baseball. We watch all these games again, live and die with every pitch. And you're going to tell me there's going to be no Mets playoff baseball when you spend that much money in the offseason and you bring in Juan Soto? That's that can't happen. It just
Especially
can't.
after we've said it's the center of the baseball world for like half the season, and that was true until it just one day wasn't.
Well, you miss the playoffs, people get fired this year.
Yeah, I wonder. It's got to be Mendy then, right? Like, who are they going to
Mm,
fire? They're not
Oh, I
firing
don't.
Stearns.
Mikey, you think we'd fire Mendy? I don't know about that.
And someone's going to be on the chopping block, and it's usually the easiest scapegoat. It's going to be you know, the head coach, right? So,
Yeah, I
And
guess
and
it's
then
not gonna be Stearns. I guess you're not gonna fire your GM that you just brought in. So
mhm.
then they're going to propel Chavez up, your favorite.
no fucking way, dude. If Mendy goes, Chavez goes. Their package deal. I heard.
What's the hate behind Chavez? What's going on
I
there?
just
I
never
gotta
see him actually
understand.
coach up any players. I feel like he's been this hitting coach, just sitting there on the bench, and I feel like I never see him actually do anything.
Hmm, that's fair.
Like I don't see him talk or coach through anybody. I feel like he's just sitting there. And I loved playing as him back in MLB 2K whenever that year was, whenever he played.
Oh yeah. Oh, like
Great.
'03
He's a good third
Chavez
baseman.
was great. Yeah. '03 Chavez was the man. '03, '05,
That was not
fantastic.
2K. That had to be what MLB. Damn, what games
What
were
was
early
that?
2000s? What baseball games were early 2000s?
MVP baseball.
MVP baseball, the best
Yes.
soundtracks there are.
Oh,
04 and '05
good.
were the two best
Yes,
made games ever made. Yes.
yes, with
What
Manny
sucks
Ramirez on
is,
cover.
yes, but that one fucking, I hated it. I would have to like fast forward. I hated hearing Bessie the whole time. I'm just like, turn this shit off. I get it. You won the goddamn thing. Like, no one ever did that for a Yankee World Series. What are we doing?
I would love to buy that game and play that again over MLB The Show, to be honest. That was prime
Because they cared back then.
baseball.
They actually changed like the format and settings and like they gave you new games and like there were little side games. Yeah, it was just
Yeah, the
better.
mini games were great. We're going really down though.
Oh, they were
Yeah, we
so
are. That's
sweet.
Yeah,
okay.
but
That's the
the
beauty of
mini
the pod.
games were great. The Dynasty on that was great.
You could build stadiums back then. It was
Yeah.
before like they waited like 20 years before they brought that back. And now they still only have it for PS5 and I got a PS4 and like the kid in me wants to build a stadium.
Oh, Ed,
Um,
I built a few stadiums. It's pretty awesome. You got to get a PS5.
yeah, okay. See, now you're just rubbing it in my face. Well, when we're in the playoffs, I'll remember this conversation and we'll talk about how you gloated about you having the ability to build fucking stadiums, all right?
Listen,
Yeah.
we're both going to be in the playoffs. I
Yes.
firmly believe. Yeah, go. This is what I
I
do, Mikey. Yeah,
believe.
you listen to the pod. You're an avid listener. You know I flip flop here because at the end of the day, deep down in my core, my intuition tells me not that we're just gonna make the playoffs, that we're gonna make another run and surprise some people.
Yeah, well, you know,
You got to believe, Ed.
you got to believe, I guess, if you believe in, I don't know.
If there's not hope, what do you have? You have absolutely nothing. So you gotta lean on something, right?
Yeah, I love that. I do love that. There's the optimism I've been waiting for. The unabashed, unrelenting optimism of only a Mets fan could bring. Well, I'll say this. Looking as, to give the Yankee fans a little something to look into or, get excited about. As you said, we do have two of the best starting pitchers or the best 1-2 punch in baseball. I think they're the only qualified starters in, teammates that are under a 3.3 ERA or 3.15 ERA, something like that. So that's pretty impressive in this day and age to have two guys doing that from the left side. And can you just imagine if we had Garrett Cole in this rotation? Three of
I
those
mean,
guys.
yeah.
I was
Like
just gonna bring that up too. You guys lost Cole before even the season started, so
like can you say enough about what these two have done? Like it's crazy what Max Fried has done. I mean, I guess that's what you signed him for, but I mean, Rodon even like the way this guy is just sort of like knuckled down and like his whole demeanor seems different. I don't know how much you guys have gotten to watch his starts this year, but I feel like he's been the unsung hero of the entire thing.
Yeah, I feel like I mentioned early. I would love to listen back because I know we were going through like telling each other who we thought maybe will surprise us on each other's teams, and I feel like I lean on Rodon because
Oh yeah.
he always had good stuff and a good track record. He was a bit of a head case. He walked a lot of guys, right? But he also struck out a lot, and the talent's always been there. I think he just had to put it together in New York, and now he has.
And to do it on this stage, right? So that's where, it'll be good to see what the Mets are doing. I keep bringing it back to you guys because I tie it together. Like, it would be interesting to see who becomes that guy for the Mets if they go that direction in the offseason as well, or, have one of your young guys sort of propel themselves to the front of that. And I guess in that same breath, is there one of those three guys in McLean, Tong, and who am I forgetting now?
bro.
Sproat. Thank you.
Yep.
He's the one that I like to say his name most. Sproat. Anyway, of those three, is there one guy you guys have felt like he can be that ace of the future? Can any one of them be, or is there one guy that's sort of separated themselves so far?
Al, I got a guy. Do you have a guy you like?
I do, but I'll let you go first.
I'm a McLean guy.
Ooh,
I think
Hey,
I
his
mean,
sweeper is nasty.
it is, and I love them all. Don't get me wrong. I think they all have potential to be top end rotation guys. I'm not like we've had other prospects. Like Christian Scott was ass. Like I'll say it straight up. Like he was not going to turn out to be anything. But like I have Jonah Tong as my guy just because the grit and he reminds me so much of Lincecum and that awkward release always plays the MLB for the most part. And I think if he learns another pitch, which is crazy, but a lot of guys do that at major league level. They'll learn an extra pitch, and he has a real fastball plus fastball, in my opinion. And I mean, either way, I think all three of them could carry us.
Yeah. Only
do
the
you
only
think?
reason I'm hesitant on Tong is because I just saw him get lit up for 6 runs in person
That's fair. The last
in the
outing was
first
great.
inning. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Oh, it was
But
Tong
that kind
DeGrom?
of
That was that matchup? Tong DeGrom?
uh I believe so, yeah.
I think
Oh
so.
wow,
Yeah, it's pretty
jeez,
Yeah, it
sick.
was.
that's pretty awesome. I mean, it didn't go your way, but that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to rub it in.
It's all right. The next game I went to was just as bad, so
That's all right. The last Tiger Yankee game I went to, Tigers Yankees, we were up 2-0. Tigers tie at 2-2, and then the next inning we gave up 8 runs in the seventh or eighth, and I was just like, I've never left a game early. I hate to admit this, I left early.
Wow, I'm
Uh,
clipping that.
Yep, it was the eighth inning, and my buddy's like, who got me the ticket. I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm going with you. There's nothing that's gonna happen here. So
You know what it
sometimes you
is?
got to make those choices.
I think we all end up saying we're bad luck at the games we go to. I mean, I've been
You have
keeping
to.
stats on and looking back, and there were some rough ones, but most memorable as of late was Game 5 last year, Mets Dodgers, when we routed them a little bit.
Oof,
That was a little
nice.
scary. Base loaded in the first inning. Peterson got out of a jam, and I just want to mention that because Peterson, again, to me, you're talking about Rodon, right? And just to draw this back, make this point real quick. I think Peterson was our future number two. We don't have an ace. We got to go out and buy an ace badly, or one of these kids turn into the ace. But then it's just gravy if you buy one, and one of these kids in the next 2, 3 years turn out to be one. But
I think that's the key, right? If you could
yeah,
find a marquee name, that'd be great.
we got to buy one. We didn't buy one. Manaya's not the guy, but isn't I mean Sanga's still locked up, so I don't know what the hell we're doing.
I don't even know who's available. So again, you're gonna have to rely on these kids from now until sometime. So right now is the time, I guess, right? Like your season's hinging on these young arms.
Mikey, I'll say this though, isn't it nice to know at least McGill will not be another opening day starter with all these arms you got?
Yes, we're already punting to the off season. I love it.
No, no, no one's punting. No one's punting. I just can't stand seeing him run out to Citi Field Mound as our fucking opening day starter. And we have spent you have the biggest payroll in baseball, and that's your opening day starter. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That happened to us not that long ago. I mean, Nestor Cortez is not McGill. He's much better. But Nestor Cortez was our opening day starter not that long ago. And I guess that brings me back to the Brewers quickly. If you guys were to match up against them this year, how you feeling? Do you think you'd beat them again, or you think they're a little tougher? No Devin Williams to rely on.
Mm, they're scrappier for sure. I
I guess
think.
it wouldn't happen until the champion. Could it even happen? I don't even know if you could line up with them.
What, they play the Brewers? Of course.
Could you?
Wouldn't it? Isn't there potential for it to just
Oh
happen
yeah,
in the
because you would be on the top
divisional?
bracket. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
The wait,
That would be the championship series, I think, if
yeah,
you were to line
championship.
up. Got it, got it. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I'm going all over the place, but I'm putting all the hypotheticals out there for you to feel a little bit more optimism as you again
Well,
settle into this last week here.
I didn't realize that how long we've been on too. I don't want to keep Mikey up too late tonight. So I was gonna say real
I
quick.
got the lady begging for dinner right now,
Oh
so
shit,
you
yeah.
gotta.
Well, that's what happens when we got when we got a three-headed monster going, man. We run a
I
little
know.
longer. It's a good conversation. Mikey, you're free to
Incredible.
join anytime, man.
Anytime. Welcome to the program, sir.
But I say we just wind it down. Maybe give her one takeaway here and what we look to this last week of baseball, regular season.
I'll go for, I feel like let's give our guest a chance to start us off, if you don't mind,
Hell
Mike, to
yeah.
put you right on the spot. If there's one thing to look forward to, what's going to get you there? What are you optimistic about? Yeah, what are you looking forward to this
Yeah,
last
I
week?
mean, we're just talking about it this whole podcast. It's going to be our young pitchers with if they pitch well, we have a really good chance of getting into the wild card and then making some noise because they have stuff. They have live arms, and we haven't really seen that, too much with our current pitching. So it's I guess we're relying on Tong, Sprout, and McLean.
There you go, boys. It's time. Got to put
I
some
like
hair
it.
on that chest. So,
Eh,
I guess I'll take the same question, eh?
Yeah, you should, Ed. Then we'll wrap it up with the Mets. So it comes a little full
I figured
circle.
wanted to give you a little chance to break it up here with some greatness, keep everybody a little happier. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's hold serve, right? It's do your job, right? That's the easiest thing to say. Cliches all around. Uh, beat Baltimore 2-1 in the series in Baltimore. They got them to finish it off. They're probably going to be the tougher matchup. And you welcome the White Sox to town. You got to have again the offense do what they're supposed to do, and the pitching hold everybody where they need to be with Will Warrens of the world, the Schlitters of the world, the rest of the guys in that lineup, the Heels of the world, work out some kinks, and really get the bullpen set for the postseason because we want to know who we can rely on, who's hot, who's not. And we've had a few guys kind of have their ups and downs and blips and so on and so forth. But feeling pretty good. Just got to chase down those Blue Jays who will be taking on the Red Sox and I believe the Rays. So it's going to be some divisional matchups who are going to be beating the shit out of each other. So you really just got to hope that we get the benefit of I don't know, a divisional beatdown. So really looking forward to just an exciting weekend. Can't believe we're already here, man. Feels like we were just talking about the season starting. So here it
I
is,
know it's
home
pretty
stretch.
bittersweet, Ed. We are 19 episodes in on this thing, and we'll wrap it up with 20 probably. And we missed a big chunk, but we're coming out strong in the playoffs in the offseason for next season. But my takeaway here is it's simple. You got to win games. The season's not over. You got to play like every game's a playoff game, and you got to believe. We've been here before. There's other seasons that have been magical, and maybe it hasn't been magical to date. Obviously last year, 2015. Um, not many others that are notable as of late, but nonetheless, yeah, I want to say 2006, but the way it ended,
It's
obviously, fucked everything up. But
it's so cute that you guys remember like 1 year here and there. It's
yeah,
adorable,
good for you. You weren't
It's
even alive for that, man. Well, you were alive for more than others. You're
yeah,
a little
I'm old
older,
as shit,
so
man.
yeah,
Stop.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
gotta you forget. But anyway,
Regardless, Ed, like I said before, and I'll say it every time, I'd rather be in the spot than not have a chance. Until you're mathematically out, this is exciting baseball. You watch all these games, Mikey, for what? For the exciting moments like this. So let's see what we could do, and hopefully I see you all in October. And Mikey, thanks again for joining the pod. This was the BAB
yes, sir.
episode 19. Like, rate, subscribe, review, phone. What is it? I always fuck this one up, Ed. The pigeon mail.
Yeah, yeah. Snail mail. Snail mail us.
Snail mail,
Get
turtle
us the
mail.
email. What's the email?
Our email, oh, on the spot.
How
I
do you
think
never
it's
know the email, dude? This is like every time. You should know the email.
completely ruined the flow of the closing because you need the email. Bear with me. Big
Don't
Apple
ask me for
Battle
the email.
at gmail.com. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. And yeah, everyone have a great night. Enjoy the final week of the baseball season and to baseball weather and fall foliage.
As the seasons change, so do the calendars turn, and as the tides march on, the one constant ray is baseball. And everybody say goodnight, Mikey.
Later, guys. Be good. This is
Later,
great.
fellas. Thanks for having me.
Take it
Bye-bye.
easy, man. Thanks for joining us.
This ball is crushed.